After being diagnosed with leukemia, I decided to let loose. I'm just a minor actor, so I went ahead and called out every director and actor who bullied me before. Of course, there was one big thing left to do. That's my longtime crush, the president of a top entertainment company. Before I kick the bucket, I'm gonna make my move on him. Social platforms trends blew up, all because of me. It all started with a show I was recently in. There were rumors it cost $200 million, but it turned into trash. Even my supporting role got caught up in the backlash, and I topped the trending list. But the real kicker was my social platforms post. Just a short line, $200 million spent and I didn't see a dime. The whole thing didn't even cost $2 million. So, where did that $198 million go? And so, where did the money go? Skyrocketed to social platforms' #1 spot. Instantly, stars who previously followed me started unfollowing in droves. The comments below the trending topic were nothing short of shocked. Anna's lost her mind. Can't believe she's saying this. She doesn't want to work in the industry anymore? Wow, first time I've seen an actor this brave, instantly became a fan. Reading those comments cracked me up. My agent called, yelling if I still wanted to work, screaming about blacklisting me. Cracked me up. I shot back without hesitation, go ahead, blacklist me if you can. If not, then zip it. It's my mouth, I'll say what I want. Click, phone hung up. Such a rush. In 25 years, I've never felt this free. Maybe knowing I don't have much time left makes me fearless. Soon, my social platforms turned into a battleground, tons of trolls and haters came to spew insults. A. What crappy acting, who watches this junk? Me, true, can't compare to your idol who filmed even while pregnant. B. Have some shame, riding on this clout? Me, oops, looks like your fave just got busted, better figure out how to bail him out. C. Seriously, you dare to say all this? Me, whatever, I've got nothing to lose. Stuff like that. Soon enough, I was trending again, Anna dares to say anything. People genuinely thought I was nuts. The entertainment world has so many secrets. My actions threw the place in chaos. But I wasn't scared. I've got nothing to lose, an orphan with no ties, fear is a luxury. I'm determined to fight the filth in showbiz to the end. But there's still that one big thing, sleeping with Eric. Eric's like every woman's dream, and I'm no exception. He's the head of a company among the top 3 in the entertainment biz. Literally a hero straight out of a novel. Handsome, with a killer build, every move he makes oozes class. I've crushed on him forever, and I found out he's attending a gala tonight. Thanks to my trending status, I'm invited too. Perfect. In the mirror, I wore a stunning red dress. Who wouldn't fall for this? Tonight, he's mine. The gala was dazzling. When I walked in, the room froze. People stared, probably wondering why I'd risk getting kicked out. Oh, come on, keep the party going. Smiling, I encouraged everyone. People just exchanged glances, ignoring me. I couldn't care less, just found a corner and started munching. No need to keep fit anymore, who knows when my last meal will be. Not long after, the doors opened, and a young man in a black suit walked in. Silence fell instantly. It was Eric. But unlike my entrance, the room wasn't shocked, instead, there was admiration and respect. He sported a Patek Philippe and an Armani exclusive suit with custom-made Cassano shoes. A strand of hair fell just so, making him even more alluring. Right, alluring. I was drooling. I had to have him, otherwise, I'd regret it my whole life. The host, a well-known director, greeted Eric eagerly. Eric nodded coolly, then sat casually. The chatter resumed, but not for me. My eyes were glued to Eric. Sensing my heated stare, he glanced at me, furrowing his brows. Probably annoyed. Half an hour later, the gala reached its peak, everyone was pairing up to dance. I put down my glass and approached Eric. He adjusted his tie with his long, pale fingers, and I stood before him, extending a hand. Mind a dance? Silence fell yet again. Shock, disbelief, and confusion filled the room. Nobody dared ask Eric for a dance, ever. I was ready for rejection, but I had nothing to lose. Rumor has it he's not into women or men. But I doubt any man could turn down a gorgeous invite. Eric glanced at me, then relaxed, smirking slightly, sure. He stood, adjusted his suit, and took my hand. I stood there, stunned, while everyone else was downright baffled. It was unexpected. Eric's hand was warm, nearly burning. Holding my hand under astonished gazes, he led me to the dance floor. My head was spinning as I danced with him. Honestly, even though I had psyched myself up to win him over, I never thought I'd get this close. He had this fresh minty smell that left me disoriented but a bit sharper at the same time. When the dance ended, Eric held onto my waist and let out a soft laugh. I could feel the heat on my face, no mirror needed. I handed him a hotel room key I had prepared earlier. Can I see you tonight? I asked. He was momentarily surprised, then slipped the card into his pocket. Leaning in, his warm breath tickled my ear. I'd be honored, Anna. Things were going smoother than I imagined. Sitting on the big hotel bed, I still felt like it was unreal. Wait a sec, isn't Eric supposed to be all cold and distant? Doesn't let anyone get too close? Did I get the wrong dude? This is just absurd. The sound of water came from the bathroom and the glass door was all fogged up, making it impossible to see anything. After a while, the water stopped. The bathroom door opened, and hot steam spilled out as Eric emerged with just a towel around him. He had a firm build, muscles defined but not overly so. His skin was pale, with water trailing down his abs, making me gulp. Starstruck? Eric waved a confident hand in front of my face, the minty scent filling my nose. I blushed and coughed lightly. So, should we start? Snorting, Eric replied with a teasing grin, not prepared, but you came to find me, huh? Help. Here I was, thinking I'd be all ready, but I was just bewildered. I had no clue what to do next. Just then, my phone rang. It was my agent calling. I apologized and picked up. Anna, you've outdone yourself. Dancing with Eric? Don't you know the internet is exploding? Are you trying to ruin your career? Before I could answer, Eric suddenly grabbed my phone. This is Eric. She's with me now. My agent gasped on the other end before the line died. Stunned, I stared at Eric. He smiled and asked, want some wine? Sure. We sat by the bed, drinking more and more. Soon, I was feeling a bit tipsy, gazing at Eric's face, unable to hold back my drool. Wow, you're quite a handsome one, I mumbled, snuggling up to him, arms around his neck. Stay with me tonight, and you'll have my future assistance, I whispered, punctuating with a loud hiccup. Eric raised an eyebrow, you're sure? Of course, I replied, but before I finished, Eric pinned me beneath him. His dark eyes smoldered, as if ready to burn me away. Who am I? He asked, gaze intense. I blinked, Eric. Before I knew it, he pressed his lips to mine. The mint aroma was intoxicating, filling my senses and leaving my mind blank. I drifted off to sleep confused, only recalling him looking tenderly at me in the dim light. The next morning when I opened my eyes, Eric's face was inches from mine. He was still asleep. I stared at his handsome features only 2 centimeters from me, conflicted. Damn, I fell asleep. Such a waste. Oh well, I wouldn't dare try again. Better make a quick escape. Getting dressed quietly, I glanced back at his sleeping form, then left the hotel. The sun was shining outside. A pang of regret hit me, perhaps because things felt too late. Back home, I took a nice long bath and settled in bed for some more sleep. Not long after, my phone started buzzing frantically. It was my agent again. I answered, listening as she excitedly yelled, "Anna, I underestimated you. Thought you'd coast along unremarkably, but you went and caught the boss eye?" I was puzzled. "What are you talking about?" My agent laughed. "The whole entertainment world's buzzing. The boss checked into a hotel with some C-list celeb, and he handed you a script for a period drama." I gasped. This was the hottest historical piece right now, by a well-known director. It featured top-tier stars, and they picked me? Eric's pull was no joke. Suddenly excited, I asked, "Is it the lead role?" "I've never played a lead before." My agent laughed sarcastically. "You think you suit the lead? You're getting the second lead." "Fine, second lead's still good. I've been in the industry a while, and my best role's been a fourth lead." Not a bad trade, didn't capture him, but gained a decent role. Unrealistic. If I weren't so jaded, I'd be following him everywhere. After hanging up, I jumped on social media. Yep, it was true. The production team announced me as the second lead, but the comments were brutal. "Who the heck is Anna taking Becky's role? Seriously? She doesn't even fit the part. Replace her or we're rating it 1 star." I squinted as I looked at the comments below. They're talking about Becky Baby. I know her, the popular starlet Becky. But this person, she's got no character, and her acting is even worse. Yet somehow, she landed a rich sponsor and knows how to play the game. Her innocent image remains unshaken in the entertainment world. With someone backing her, she's made moves, bossing people around, even me. Hard to believe, but now I've turned the tables. Just as I was about to put my phone away, something popped up. Becky posted something. "No need to stand up for me. It's just a role, if Anna likes it, she can have it." Really? Seeing that, I couldn't hold back. I tagged her and replied, "Who do you think you are? You can't just give it away. Does anyone even buy your acting?" "Oh, I forgot, great company marketing and a rich sponsor helping out." After I hit send, I felt amazing. It didn't even take 2 minutes before she replied, "Anna, how can you be so rude?" Fair enough. I thought about it and changed my response. "Sorry, I was abrupt. But I won't change my mind." No more replies from her. Clearly, my bluntness got to her. Suddenly things got wild online, with haters flooding my account with insults. But guess what? I also gained a lot of fans. Turns out, my attitude won them over, and they wanted to follow me. I mean, when I focused on acting, no one cared. But one argument, and suddenly I'm famous. But the big shocker came next. Someone liked my post. Not just anyone, it was Eric. And from his verified account, too. Everyone freaked out, wondering if it was a mistake. Then he retweeted it. "CEO moves. Seems like my claims about her sponsor just got solid proof." The platform crashed. I logged out with a satisfied smile. Perfect, let them fight it out. I just wanted my beauty sleep. I had just laid in bed for 2 minutes, but for some reason, staring at the ceiling, tears suddenly welled up. My pillow got wet. Damn it, I was happy, why am I crying? My heart should be as cold as winter deserts, yet I couldn't control it. As I tossed and turned, unable to sleep, someone started banging on my door. I got up, washed my face, and went to the living room to open the door. Who's interrupting my beauty sleep? Before I could finish, I froze. My freshly washed eyes were still a bit sore. There stood Eric, smiling at me. "What, don't want to see me?" His face was so close, I swallowed hard. He leaned in slightly, close enough, making my heart race like crazy. Eric's too handsome. When he looks at you like that, it's hard not to feel something. "Why so quiet?" he teased, lips curling into a smile. I gulped, stepping back. Seeing the CEO made me nervous. He stood upright, lightly gripping my wrist as he walked in, closing the door behind him. Almost felt like it was his place. Eric pulled me to the small sofa in my living room. He tugged, and I fell into his arms. Nervous now? He whispered in my ear. You were pretty bold last night. His words turned my cheeks red. I just got done drinking yesterday. Alone with him now, where's my courage? You get one shot of bravery in life, I guess. Maybe seeing my silence, Eric chuckled, sitting back with a smile. Anna, you weren't scared when you stirred things up. Did you need something? I stepped back, touching my warm face. Eric smirked. What? I can't see my girlfriend without a reason. Girlfriend? I was stunned, quickly sitting up. How did I become your girlfriend? I mean, I'm about to die soon, how can I date someone? Wouldn't that be unfair? Just wanted to have a bit of fun before, not get involved. You don't want to? Eric seemed puzzled. Eric stunning. When he got close, those dark eyes staring at me, my mind went blank. It wasn't until Eric left that I snapped back. How did I agree to that? Thinking about how I mindlessly nodded, I could slap myself. Like I've told myself, beauty deceives. But, damn, Eric's just captivating. I sighed. As I looked down, a nosebleed started, shaky hands grabbing meds from the drawer, just swallowing them dry, leaving my throat sore. My body felt like it was tearing apart. Is leukemia this tough? Lying in bed, tears threatened. Damn it, why me? Forget it. I'll find a way to break up with Eric. Can't drag him down. Better to end it before feelings get deeper. 3 days later, I dragged my body to the set to film. The famous director Mike, top actor David, and popular star Lily. Speaking of Lily, I can't stand her. We worked together before, me as a small part, her the lead. Don't know what her deal was, but while sunbathing under the tent, she looked at me with disdain. Hey, you, fetch me a coffee. She couldn't even remember my name, not that I was memorable anyway. But she had no problem bossing me around. And there I went, chasing a shot at my dream without hesitation. That move cost me my role, I got kicked right off the set. The director got in my face, yelling, going for coffee when you're supposed to be shooting? So many people want this part if you don't. Get out. And the mastermind behind it all, Lily, just lounged back in her chair, mocking me. Trying to explain was pointless. Turns out, a girl who sweet-talked Lily snatched my spot. Back then, I had zero connections and no leverage, so I had to suck it up. If it weren't for a director who gave me another shot later on, I might have quit the business. Now, though, things are different. I rolled my eyes at her, not even bothering to hide my disdain. If she crossed me, I wasn't scared. I'd take anyone on. Lily shot a glance my way, her face pale but still maintaining her image, stayed silent. She turned to the director, with a snarky remark. People get a little successful and think they can make the whole crew wait. Imagine if they actually get famous. Her comment got everyone looking at me. Well played. She had a point, but I checked my watch. 10 minutes till call time. Not sure who's always late and trending online. You. Lily fumed, glaring at me but coming up blank. I raised my brow. What's the matter? Can't handle it? How can you be so rude? Does this crew take just anyone now? Lily, unable to out-talk me, turned to the director. The director shrugged. This show is Eric's investment. Boom. Just like that, Lily was speechless. She sat down, deflated, and wouldn't meet my gaze. The director gave her a sympathetic glance, pulling her aside. Why provoke her? She's already on edge, and she's got Eric backing her. Why get in her way? Lily kept quiet, sulking. People around us kept to themselves, nobody dared to jump in. Soon, we were called to start filming. While in makeup, the artist commented, "Your skin is so pale." I chuckled. I guess I'm just naturally fair. Things went smoothly at first. My character was the childhood friend of the male lead, a brave and willful heiress, who dies for true love. In the early scenes, I only interacted with the lead actor, David, avoiding Lily. Then came the fourth scene. My character's mistake leads to the male lead getting hurt, and the female lead, played by Lily, slaps me in fury. With Lily's mocking face, I knew she was up to no good. Sure enough. As soon as we started, before I could deliver my line, she slapped me hard. Smack. My cheek burned painfully. She probably used 80% of her strength. Lily, what are you doing? The director was shocked, questioning her, where are your lines? You can't just hit her. Lily gave the director a pitiful look, I'm sorry, I forgot. I tested the numb spot on my face with my tongue. That slap made half my face tingle. Can we do another take? The director hesitated. Mike was a respected director focused on quality. He wasn't thrilled about me being here, but I smiled, of course. Action. Lily spun around, if it weren't for you, he wouldn't be hurt, you. Whack. I put all my strength into slapping Lily right back. She screamed, toppling over, glaring at me incredulously, how dare you hit me? The director was so stunned he forgot to yell cut. I wiped my hand and stepped closer to Lily, delivering my lines as I'd planned. Do you think too highly of yourself? I'll take responsibility for the accident. Who are you to judge me? The cameraman quietly asked the director if they should cut, only to get shut down. The scene pressed on. Lily had no choice but to continue, gritting her teeth, hit me again, and he won't forgive you. Stop babbling. I stood, looking at her defiantly, let's worry about the future later. Right now, don't cross me, okay? My gaze must have been intimidating because Lily flinched. I get it. Cut. The director broke it off, storming over to glare at Lily, what are you doing? You're the lead, how can you let a supporting role intimidate you? It was then that Lily realized her blunder, standing up and glaring venomously at me. This isn't right. I was supposed to slap you. Slowly, I looked at the director, Mike, if my character is so passionate and fearless, she shouldn't be easily pushed around. The director considered this, nodding slowly despite Lily's disbelief. Lily was stunned, Mike, you can't be favoring Anna just because she's part of Eric's investment. At those words, the director's face darkened immediately. I watched the drama unfold, knowing Mike had a reputation for being hot-tempered and impartial. Once, he chose an unknown actor over a bankrolled name and paid a heavy price. But ironically, he's got an uncanny eye for talent. That movie became a huge hit and made him famous overnight. And now, with Lily openly claiming the director favors me, there's no way he's happy about it. Sure enough. The director glared at Lily, then tossed his thermos to the ground in anger. Lily, if you want to act, then act. If not, get lost. Plenty of others would kill for this role. If it wasn't for your great performance as the White Lotus in the last film, do you think you'd even have a chance? Lily's face went pale fast. In a situation like this, crossing Mike probably means no good roles coming her way. I'm sorry, director, Lily apologized awkwardly. Just as the director was about to say something, I suddenly felt dizzy. 2 streams of warm liquid trickled down my nose. Ah, you're bleeding. My assistant gasped. I instinctively touched my nose, and before I could speak, everything went black, and I collapsed. In a daze, I seemed to see Eric. I recalled when we first met. We went to the same school. He was 2 years my senior, and I saw him giving a speech when I first started. Back then, the spotlight practically enveloped him. My heart pounded like a drum. He was handsome and talented. Who wouldn't have a crush on someone like that? Soon after, during military training, I fainted from low blood sugar on the field. He walked by and carried me to the infirmary. Braving the scorching sun, he bought me 2 bottles of ice water. Young and full of vitality, he wasn't so cold back then. Hey, your knee's swollen. Try some ice, he said. As I grabbed the ice water, I felt his pulse beating and blushed instantly. I didn't manage a single word the whole time, not even a thank you. I was afraid my voice would tremble. Later, I secretly added him as a friend but never dared to message him. I just peeked into his life through his social media. Saved a fallen girl today, I'm such a hero. Today's classes were so boring, makes me want to die just thinking about it. Oh, the cafeteria has my fave sweet and sour pork today. That's gonna keep me alive for a couple more days. He seemed aloof, but his social media buzzed with energy, several posts a day, adding joy to my once quiet life. At the same time, I felt like a wretched clown. Like a stalker. After he graduated, I took one last look at his contact info, then blocked him. If he ever found out, he'd probably be annoyed, right? We severed contact after that, not a single overlap since. Eventually, he became the CEO of an entertainment company, and I ended up as a minor celeb, hoping I might one day stand beside him. But I guess that's not gonna happen. Ouch. It hurts. Feels like my bones are fracturing all over. Shaking with pain, the sharp scent of disinfectant made me open my eyes. Before I knew it, a pair of warm hands held my wrist, and I turned to see Eric sitting next to me. His eyes showed hidden worry and sadness. It reminded me of the past, like our very first encounter. Why didn't you tell me? His voice trembled with anger and emotion. I'm your boyfriend. Why didn't you tell me you were sick? I tried to smile, even though everything hurt. Pain, I croaked out, my voice barely recognizable. Eric stood up quickly, pressing the call button. The doctor and nurses rushed in, checking me over. The doctor shook his head. All we can do now is chemotherapy. There are no other options. It's advanced. Eric's grip on my hand tightened. I felt nothing, looking at the doctor. Can you give me more painkillers? I'm really scared of the pain. I'd still recommend chemotherapy. You might have a year left, the doctor said reluctantly. Eric looked at me. Do the chemo. No, I chuckled weakly. It hurts. Just give me some meds, okay? He stared at me for a moment, then turned to the doctor and nodded. Okay, prescribe the meds. The battle I expected from him never came. Once the doctors left, I asked confused, shouldn't you be insisting on the chemo? Why just agree like that? I mean, this isn't what happens in the movies. Can't believe everything you see on TV. I don't want you to be in pain, he said, his eyes suddenly red. His grip on the chair tightened. If you weren't planning to stay, why get involved with me? If you're gonna die, do it quietly. Don't let me know. You're here, so why leave now, you heartbreaker? Mid-sentence, he started crying. Caught off guard, I asked, seriously, did you have a crush on me? Sure, I'm good looking, but... What the hell are you talking about? Eric, with teary eyes, said, You think the director helped you for no reason, that I liked your posts for nothing, and despite your clashes, you managed to stay in this industry without issues, that was all me. Without me watching over you, you'd have been chewed up and spat out. You think the entertainment business is easy? No one's dared to make a move on you, ever. Finally, after waiting so long, you show up, and now you want to leave? His words shamed me. I guess that's how it was. I wasn't thinking straight, trying to live without regrets. Never imagined he liked me all along. That wasn't my intention. I wanted to be a passerby in his life, but he secretly loved me for so long. I'm sorry. Eric took a deep breath, calming down. His eyes looked at me with deep sadness. I don't want to be harsh with you. Please, don't be mad at me, okay? His words almost made me cry. I turned my head away, not wanting to look at him, but inside, I was screaming. Damn it, universe, look what you've done. Turns out Eric had a crush on me. I was both happy and sad. Why didn't I know this sooner? I'm almost dying now, and that's when I find out. Such a shame. I refused chemotherapy, so Eric decided to follow my wishes and took me to his house. No surprise there, he's a CEO, and his house is pretty big. He watched as I pulled a bunch of meds out of my suitcase, and his eyes welled up. I laughed. I didn't take you for the sentimental type. Say less, he replied. Maybe he felt the atmosphere was a bit heavy, so Eric just looked at me and quietly helped with my luggage. That night, I was eager to fulfill my last wishes. But thinking about how Eric would feel after I was gone, I decided to let it go. Whatever. Lying in bed with Eric, he hugged me tightly. It was like he was afraid I'd disappear if he let go. Loosen up a bit. I can't breathe, I said, struggling a little. Being so close reminded me of something I couldn't have. It was kind of too much for me. I was about to spiral. Stop moving. Eric turned off the light, rolled over, and faced away. Soon enough, his breathing evened. The guy falls asleep fast. I kept my eyes open but eventually drifted off. By late night, my body started hurting again. I woke up suddenly, thinking about grabbing some painkillers. But then I felt trembling beside me. In the moonlight spilling through the window, I saw Eric curled up, like a wounded animal, crying. In that quiet night, I heard his sobs loud and clear. Sadness spread endlessly in the darkness. I thought about getting up to find my meds but decided against it. Really? What's he crying about? I haven't even cried yet. This world's a mess, always messing with people. Why did I only realize Eric and I were into each other when I'm about to leave? Some lovers just can't be together. My head was a chaotic mess, and I was mad at the world, wishing to curse everyone out. I should have gotten more checkups. Whatever. It's too late for all that. Eric took me back to our old college. We held hands, walking on the path behind the school. I couldn't help but chuckle. What's so funny? Eric asked, looking at me. The thought of a cool CEO having a crush on me is funny. You've got good taste, I said bluntly. He held my hand tighter, a bit hurt. I wanted to confess after graduation, but then you blocked me. I paused. Wait, you knew you had my contact all this time? Duh. Eric shot me a frustrated look. Otherwise, who spams their social media with 800 posts a day? I'd rather read a book. So all those posts were for me. I chuckled again. Understanding, he took my hand, walking me up and down our old school path. Until night fell, stars twinkling in the sky. We rested on a bench behind the school. Eric asked, "Got any last wishes?" "Yep." I replied instantly, "Of course." "You'll help me, right?" "What is it?" Eric's eyes were bright, like they held a starry sky. "I haven't slept with you," I blurted out sincerely. Talking about this topic woke me right up. Eric's face darkened. "Get lost." "Okay." We sat in silence for a bit. Guess I understand silence. After a while, I asked, they say people turn into stars after they die. Will I become a star? Yes. Eric nodded. I wanted to say something, but a cold wind made me shiver. He grabbed my hand, ready to take me back. We couldn't park at the school gate, so the car was across the street. As we crossed, I was still plotting how to sleep with him. Suddenly, a blinding flash, a truck headed straight for us. Eric's eyes widened, reaching to push me away. But I was faster. I shoved him, saw him stumble to the curb. The next moment, I was hit hard, everything went red. Funny, it didn't hurt. Struggling to open my eyes, I saw Eric running towards me. He held me tight, muttering who knows what. I couldn't hear a thing. I laughed weakly, trying to touch his face, but I couldn't lift my hand. It didn't hurt. Eric was crying. Holding me with one hand, the other trembling as he tried calling 911, messing up the numbers over and over. First time seeing him so panicked, it was kinda funny. I chuckled, opened my mouth, blood spilling out. The stars were extra bright that night, twinkling like never before. I'd never seen a night sky so beautiful. "Eric," I called out shakily. He looked at me, his eyes reflecting me, making me look kinda ugly. Oh well, who cares now? My thoughts jumbled up, but I only managed to say one thing. "Look up to find me." As I closed my eyes, I saw Eric breaking apart, consciousness fading into darkness. "Just remember. Look up, find me in that starry sky." The end. Epilogue, Parallel World. So, he ended up becoming the president of an entertainment company. As for me, I became a barely known celebrity, hoping one day I'd stand by his side. But sadly, that seemed unlikely. You see, I was diagnosed with leukemia. When I opened my eyes again, Eric was sitting next to me. I was a bit dazed, feeling weak. "All these years, and you haven't changed a bit," Eric teased, smiling as he touched my face. "Fainted again because of low blood sugar?" I was confused. Low blood sugar? What was he talking about? "What are you looking at?" He raised an eyebrow, that playful glint in his eyes. "Take care of yourself. Don't worry. I'll look after you now. Stop being afraid of me, got it?" "No," my voice cracked a bit, "just low blood sugar." Why was I having nosebleeds then? No other issues, like, say, cancer? Huh? Eric looked puzzled, giving me a once-over. "What are you talking about?" "Just had a check. You're stressed with low blood sugar. And cancer? What, are you planning some dramatic farewell on me?" His eyes were full of mischief. I was completely bewildered. I was sure I got the leukemia diagnosis. The doctor said I only had about a month left. Eric's eyes twitched hearing this. "Are you kidding me? Use your brain. Who in late-stage leukemia, with just a month left, is as lively as you? I saw you smack Lily earlier. Knocked her out cold." Suddenly, joy overwhelmed me. I wasn't sick. I wasn't sick. Tears filled my eyes as I looked at Eric, and I couldn't help but cry. Eric comforted me clumsily, asking what was wrong. Between sobs, I managed to say, "The worst thing isn't thinking you're dying, but being misdiagnosed and offending everyone around you." I was genuinely afraid I'd never make it in the entertainment industry at this rate. Eric just stood there silently. Idiotic doctors. I muttered angrily. But in the end, I didn't leave the entertainment world. I had grown fearless because of the leukemia, not caring about anything or anyone. And now, with Eric by my side, we announced our engagement. Turns out, being unchallenged in life gets lonely. This barely there celebrity suddenly became the talk of the town, marrying the industry hotshot. Life's full of ups and downs. This fact almost drove my online haters mad. They said I lucked my way into hooking up with such a high-up executive. Eric, seeing this, angrily posted, "I'm the lucky one, alright?" Thus, a new fan base was born, fans of our couple. I never imagined I'd have so many couple fans in my life. "Stop staring," Eric said, pressing a hand on my phone, wearing a slightly annoyed look. "Don't tell me you'd rather stare at your phone than me sitting right here?" "Fine," I said, linking arms with him as we leaned against a bench behind the university, gazing at the stars. The night sky was especially beautiful. Thinking about how he'd been secretly crushing on me all this time, subtly posting on his social media, I couldn't resist teasing him. "Well, who knew you were secretly such a romantic in college?" I quipped. Eric, face dark, pulled me out of campus, insisting he'd make me pay for teasing him when we got home. Jokingly, I wondered, do I ever get scared? But I felt a little sore. Well played, he'd managed to intimidate me. While crossing the street, this truck sped out of nowhere, but Eric's quick reflexes pulled me into his arms. "Thank goodness," I said, "I caught you this time." We both stopped, surprised by my words. After a moment, Eric furrowed his brows, puzzled, "I don't know why. I just blurted it out." We shrugged it off and went on. It wasn't until deep in the night. Eric sat upright in bed, suddenly holding me close. Though tired from his fussing, I groaned, "What is it? Can't a person sleep?" "Anna, my love," Eric's voice shook with just a hint of tears. Suddenly alert, I turned on the light, only to find him staring at me with reddened eyes. My chest ached at the sight. Concerned, I rubbed his back. "What's going on?" He buried his face in the nook of my neck, his tears warm against my skin, his voice trembling. "I had a dream. You had leukemia. And died in a car crash saving me." His grip was suffocating. "Let's get checked now, okay? Please." "It's just a dream," I soothed. "We can check tomorrow." "I won't hear it." Together for so long, this was Eric's first refusal. He pulled me up, pleading, "That dream, it felt so real and scary. Can we go now?" Okay, I relented. I got dressed, and in the middle of the night, we drove to the first city hospital. Blood work and a battery of tests later, my health checked out fine. But there was one surprise. I was pregnant. 2.5 weeks. Eric was elated, spinning me around in the hospital hallway. This guy was something else. Later, we had our wedding. On that night, hand in hand, Eric looked relieved. "My love, I'm so glad you're okay. Let's keep doing this once a month, okay?" And as always, he held me close, and I reassured him, "Don't worry. I'll never leave."